Anything particular you want to cover today? I think we did recall last time I saw you guys.
Yeah, that's right.
So we've done heel, recall, place. I think we did stay stuff because I remember you talking about it with like applying it with pepper, I think.
Yeah, that's right. We did stay as well.
And how's he been doing with all that stuff?
He's been okay. We haven't been able to practice a ton. We've just been out of the house so much. We just bought a house.
Okay.
So we've been our schedule's been crazy. I haven't been able to give him too much time for one-on-one training.
Sure. Anything particular you want to cover today?
Maybe recall a little bit more, just because I feel like that's one of the big ones.
Let me think. Is there anything on the recall that you need help with, or is it more so just to kind of review it?
He did pretty good last week. I just want to make sure he remembers it.
Let's take a look here. Okay, so go ahead and clip him to this leash here. And you're going to move your red leash and put him on this black one. Yeah. All right. And I'll have you actually go towards that wall over there. Oh. And then here. Just in case you need to give them directions. All right, and what's your color currently set to?
70.
Is that where we were at last time, or what was the highest you went for the recall last time?
I think we might have gone up to 80 at one point.
Let's go ahead and dip them to 35.
All right.
And it just do a recall and just show me what you remember, okay?
Finn, come.
Right. Good. Praise.
Good
Was
boy.
there a tap there at all?
It was very good. I tapped him
When you straight a bit?
at the beginning and then right here. He started getting distracted. That was very good.
Let's do two more.
Good boy. Break. Finn, come. No.
Yep, tap. 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 Yep. There we go, almost. Tap. Tap. Let's go to bump. Let's go 50. Good. A little bit of price. Up, tap. 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 Good. Wait a moment. Praise.
Good boy.
You can bring them to 60.
What was that? You didn't want to do it? Break.
Come on, bud. Okay, and try one more.
Finn, come.
And then pull backwards. Pull. There he goes. Good. That was 45 to 60, right?
Yeah, 60.
Okay. Let's try going to 53.
Good boy. That was very good one. That was a lot better. No, we're not sleeping.
All right.
Break.
All right. We're trying at 53 because he wasn't responding to anything up to 45, and then 60 seems to be a little too much. We'll see if going down the middle works better.
Finn, come.
There you go. Yep, now back. Tap, tap, tap. Reel it in. Tap, tap, tap. Pull, pull, pull. Good, pull, pull, pull. Okay. Good. Now, have you had any opportunity to go out to work on the recall stuff?
Not a ton.
Okay.
A little bit last week.
When you practiced last week, break bud, did you notice him being kind of delayed on his return, or was it more so he was coming straight to you?
He was getting a little distracted near the beginning.
And then what number were you using?
Probably like 60.
Okay, so outside at the park or whatever, at 6 feet, he was getting distracted?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to try 2 more, keeping it at 53. When you give the recall, I'm going to have you right away start reeling it in so that there's some more immediate and direct directional pressure to see if that'll help lead him to you more straight on as opposed to him kind of getting distracted here. Okay? Robert. Oh, let me move this. There you go.
Finn, come.
Yep, there you go. Yep, tap. There he goes. Good. And then backwards. 1, 2, much better. And hold. And price. Good. I'm going to try a couple more, but that was a lot better.
Break.
Break.
Come on.
Come on, bud. Break, break, break.
I tried doing recall in the yard with my other dog, Pepper, and when I would do it, she would get confused, and for some reason, she loves my mom. She would just go right by my mom, and she wouldn't come to me. What do you think she's getting wrong, or how do I?
Was your mom closer to her than you, or?
Yeah, I would back up like all the way over here to try and get her to run across the yard to me, but she just stayed by my mom.
So that's a pretty common problem, is the dog will run to the closest person, thinking that'll turn off the pressure, when really you're needing her to come to you specifically. So knowing that that's a problem with when your mom's around, what I would do is same thing in the yard practice, but have the long leash on Pepper. You would do your recall normally, but like let's say Pepper were to run to your mom.
Yep.
But now you have the leash to grab, so you can keep tapping and pull her.
Okay.
And the moment she leaves your mom, you would stop the tapping, move back and praise. You can even reward. But you're just teaching her that when you call her, she has to come to you and not the nearest person. So like, if a client's at the park and let's say their dog is past this purple pole here, and they call them, the dog would most likely run to that person, okay, because they're the closest thing to them. So then to get them to leave the person, there has to be directional pressure. Otherwise, if they think that running to that person is correct, you'll see them like jump on the person and like literally like try to climb up on them because they're thinking they're supposed to get closer, okay? So then with the leash, if I pull and tap, I can give them directional pressure telling them you don't want to get closer to them, you actually want to leave them.
Got it.
But that's its own, like you would make that a training session where it's, you're going to practice with Pepper when your mom's around or whatever, so that she gets confused, so you can practice her not making, her not going to the wrong person.
Got it.
Yeah, but that's a pretty common problem. So anytime you have an issue with anything, obedience related, if the dog's not getting it off the leash, we always go back to the leash because the leash is part of direction.
Got it.
Okay?
Yep.
Go ahead and do your recall.
Finn, come.
Tap, tap, tap. There you go. Good. Tap, tap. Good. Right there and hold. And praise.
Good.
Good.
Yoshi-kun. Yoshi-kun.
We're gonna do one more.
Break. He's so nice when he's sleepy. Remember his first class? He was a demon.
One second, buddy. There you go. There you go. Okay.
Finn, come.
And then pull. There he goes. Good. And hold. Yep.
Good boy.
So whenever you're with anything that we're training, because you're as much a part of the process as Finn is, is when you did the first couple, like we went lower because I didn't want to just come out hot to see if you would respond with something lower. So partially because the number was lower, but then also you were calling him and we're seeing like what is Finn gonna do on his own, right? And it was lazy, it was slow, he was getting distracted and stuff.
Yep.
Then I go, he needs more immediate direction. So the moment I get that tap, right away, I'm pulling and moving backwards to create the impulsiveness and the consistency of every time you call him, he has to just start making his way to you. Otherwise, if you go out to the park and you practice with Finn and he's like taking his time and stuff, if I don't put any effort into teaching him how I want him to return, I'm building that kind of recall, which is slow and lazy, okay? So what you end up practicing with them is what you're teaching. So if I see like, okay, he's taking a sweet time or always getting distracted, one is raising the pressure, but then two, be more immediate on the leash pull, but then also very direct on those movements back. So your steps back are more subtle, and I would be more pronounced, so that for him it's a very clear visual of this is what I'm supposed to do. Especially if the dog's further out at a distance, if you're doing littler steps like this, harder for them to see as opposed to big pronounced steps like this, directing them towards you. So now let's say you go to the park and you know his number is 70 or whatever, you can just start off at 70, 80, whatever that number is. But then when you go to call him to practice, anytime you call him, it would be, Finn, come, tap, pull, move backwards until you see when you call him, he just starts taking off towards you and he doesn't even give you the chance to pull him because he's trying to beat the punch. Okay? Questions on any of that stuff?
No.
So
that makes sense.
The way you were practicing, like you had it correct, like you tapped right away, because a lot of people delay the tap or they stop the tap too soon. Whereas right now at this stage, you would always tap Finn to motivate him to teach him this is always going to happen and to motivate him to move faster than the tap happens.
Yep.
And then you were moving backwards. So all that stuff was correct. So we're just tweaking how you're doing it. Finn, come, tap, pull backwards, and then reeling it in so that he doesn't even get an opportunity to delay or get detoured. And if he does, kicking with the tap to line him up back to you. Okay?
Right.
We'll try a couple more.
Break.
Here, bud. Break. Break, break.
Finn, come.
Better. Yep, that was already better. Yep, and hold right there. Praise.
Good boy.
You see how you called him right there, and he stood up and already started kind of moving towards you?
Yep.
And then he got, distracted or delayed or whatever after the first couple of steps. But you had the initial part, so that was good.
Break.
Break. Break. Break. Break.
Finn, come.
Yep. Much better. Yep. Praise.
Good jam. Good jam.
Good. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yep, that was good.
Yeah, so anytime that we give any command, once the dog's got the concept or when we're teaching it, you should see them start to show hints of understanding what they're supposed to do. So like here with the recall, I want to start seeing this motion. So those last two, he was already starting to go. Then that tap that kicked in was just like now.
Yep.
So eventually it becomes Finn come, and he just starts moving towards you, but he just starts and then completes it. And there's no delay or there's no detour or whatever. It's going to be just a straight shot. Okay?
He's fast. I know how fast he can go.
Yeah.
So he's just sluggish.
Until he's told to be.
Yeah.
Other questions?
No, he's a loud guy, so those guys are super quiet playing. Maybe one day we could get him there, but he's just crazy.
As a player?
Yeah, he's very loud when he's playing.
With Pepper?
Yeah.
Have you corrected him at all?
Yeah, we bonked him a couple times, but we need to be better about it.
When you were bonking him, did you notice any change in his energy, or did he seem the same?
No, he didn't really care.
Okay. It could be a couple of things. One, it could be intensity. A lot of times clients think they're correcting firmly, but they're not, because we just have a natural apprehension for physicality. Second thing could be he just doesn't care. Like if you're like, nah, man, I whacked the crap out of him, and he just like took it and kept playing, then that means the bonker is just hits. He's too tough to it, so to speak, which happens because dogs, they bite each other, and the bonker's just a roll of towel. In some cases, dogs can be very receptive to it. In other cases, dogs could care less about it. So if you feel like you're giving him pretty solid corrections and he's just blowing right past them, then he just may be one of those dogs that just doesn't care for the bonker, no matter how firmly you correct them.
Is it better, you think, to bonk him like on the butt or like on the snoot?
Anywhere, head, neck, butt, whatever you can reach. It's just a roll of towel. Like it's not gonna, cause brain damage or something.
Yeah.
Because I sent you the videos, correct, on the bonkers? How to make one, how to use one?
I think so.
Okay.
My girlfriend's email.
Okay. You can ask her to see if I sent them to her.
Sure.
But in the video where it's the third one, and it's one of a trainer actively bonking a dog, you see just how firm he bonks. And it's a puppy, too. It's like a 5 to 6 month old puppy, and he corrects it very firmly. And I send that to people to give them an idea of like intensity. Typically, we adjust the correction or any correction that we do according to the behavior. So like him being loud isn't the worst thing in the world, right?
No.
So we may come in with a softer correction, but for Finn, he may need a firmer correction even though it's a smaller behavior to us. Because people tend to use logic too much, and they go, well, dog logic and our logic are very different. I agree in the beginning, if it's a minor behavior, I give a lighter correction, but if the dog keeps repeating the behavior, my lighter correction isn't teaching anything. I come in with the firmer correction. And I've had clients, for instance, digging in the garbage, have to 127 continuous the dog, and the dog will still go digging in the garbage. And it's because the act of digging in the garbage is greater in value to them than the consequence itself. Does that make sense? So for us, it doesn't make sense in the sense that we wouldn't do that because it sucks. But dogs don't think that way. If it's rewarding enough, they're willing to take even a harsh correction to get a second to 2 seconds of that behavior. Right. So yeah, you can ask Haley to see if I sent her the videos about the application of the bonker. And then if you watch it, it'll help give you a perspective on just how intense you can correct. Because that could be a potential issue too. If you think you're correcting firmly, if you watch the video and everything, clients will sometimes send me a video of them bonking the dog, and I'll review it, and I'll tell them like, yeah, that was a solid correction, your dog just doesn't care. So if that's the case, then you could technically use the collar to correct them for the loudness inside, but then you start to get to the kind of becoming dependent on the collar, which is why the bunk is typically a nice in between.
Yeah, he doesn't usually wear it inside too much. Like if we'll go on a walk, I'll keep it on him for like a few hours inside. But I'm not gonna usually put it on just for inside.
Right. The other thing would be like if it's obviously he's being loud because he's playing with Pepper, is not allowing them to play inside the house so that they're not getting, or he's not getting loud. You can correct that, and then like when they're outside in the yard or whatever, it's like, okay, now you can, scream or whatever.
Yeah, the new house has a yard, so we're super excited. They're gonna have so much space to run and play.
You guys move out to the suburb or are you in the city still?
It's in Westchester, so it's further out west. Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's like 30, 40 minutes from here, so not too far.
But yeah, so you can always put limitations to things too, where it's like you're not going to play inside, but you can play outside in the yard when we let you. So, especially with the baby coming.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking, the house has a first floor, basement, and a yard, so we'll be nice and spread out. And right now, him and Pepper are just like on top of each other 24/7.
Yeah.
They're always going at it, so.
Gotcha.
It'll be nice for them to have a little bit of privacy and some space.
Yeah, I would definitely, especially if they're used to kind of playing all the time, because once the baby comes around, that may not be the same.
Yeah.
Because I'd already start putting limitations to that now. So this way, it's not such like a big shock to the system later on, and then you've already done all the work. Get down there, yep. Yep, 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 yep. Yep, a little bit of a pull. Yep. Pull, pull, pull. There he goes. Almost. Putting those limitations now will be easier as opposed to later.
Right.
Question on any of that?
No.
Do you want to keep practicing the recall stuff, or do you want to go over something new? 'Cause I don't think we've done sits or downs yet with him.
No, I don't think we have. No.
You want to cover something different, something new?
We could try down.
Down? Does he know down? Does he have any idea of down?
No.
With food or anything?
No.
No? Okay. Let's, does he have allergies?
No.
So go ahead and bring him on over.
Break.
And you can switch him back to your normal leash here. How is his drive for food?
How is it? It's good. It's just regular Purina puppy food.
Yeah, it's pretty good drive.
Hey.
Okay. He doesn't seem to have an understanding. So I get that. So the reason why I'm bringing up the food right now is if he doesn't have any kind of understanding of what the down is, it's going to be a lot harder to teach with e-collar. All right. So let me see your property leash. Thank you. So I'm going to see if I can show him. We're not going to worry about remote collar right now. Okay, so I'm going to flip this so the chain's more so on the bottom, because we're going to want to give directional pressure.
Yep.
So we have to layer in the pressure a little gradually. Yes. I'm not gonna care how he lays down.
So
I just care
dramatic.
that he lays down.
Yeah, I don't know how he doesn't get hurt because he just jumps off of stuff and throws his body everywhere.
Yes. Good. Break. I thought he was gonna be a lot more vocal with this. He's actually doing pretty good. Good. There you go. Good. Break.
Good boy.
Do a couple more. More, bud. Yes. One more. Break. Good. There we go. Good. So I'm gonna have you do the same thing here. Is you're not full on putting weight on him anymore. We're just gradually putting more pressure on the leash using our foot until he downs. And then once he downs, giving a reward. Here are
No.
5. There you go.
Break. Finny.
Yep. Hold right there. Good. Now reward. Good. 4 more.
Break. Come on.
Good.
Good boy.
Good. 3 more.
Break.
Good. Good. 2 more.
Break.
Almost. And then, yep, just hold. Wait a moment. There. And then feed. Good. 1 more.
Break. Oh no, you're not getting it now.
Yep. And then hold. Yep. And then feed. Good. So right now, we're not caring about how he downs, just that he downs. So he's understanding when he feels that downwards pressure, if he just does this, pressure disappears and he gets something out of it.
Right.
So we're gonna do same thing, except this time, you're not gonna
Break.
put as much pressure, and we're gonna start adding in the e-collar. We're at what number now? 53?
50. Yeah.
Let's go back to that 35.
35.
There we go. Good.
Should I still step on it?
Yeah, so you're gonna step on it lightly. Tap. Good. Tap. Tap. Wait a moment. Now feed. Good. Good. Break.
Break.
We're gonna do that 4 more times. Price, feed. Good, 3 more.
Break.
Okay, Elias. ¿Te poncho Cooper no? Feed. Tap, good. Feed.
Break.
Good. Feed. Excellent. That was the last one, right?
I have one more.
Okay, one more.
Break.
Tap, good. Feed. Excellent. So we're gonna do the same process, except now you're gonna cue the down first,
Okay.
and then start to put the leash pressure. Now, if he lays down in response to the word or like right away, you can stop what you're doing, let him finish, and then just reward.
Okay. Break. Down.
Yep. And foot and tap. Now feed. Good. Try that 4 more times.
Break. Come on. Break.
Obi's owner just emailed about a walk for Obi today and tomorrow.
Down.
Yep. And then feed.
Good boy.
Good. 3 more.
Break. Down.
Yep. Tap. Good. Feed. Good. 2 more.
Why are you rolling around?
Come on. Break. Down.
Yep. Yep. Good. Feed. And last one.
Break. Down.
Good. That was better. Good. So on that one, it looks like you had a lot less pressure.
Yeah, he just fell over.
So that exercise, once, maybe twice a day, 3-5 minutes, real short. You're trying to just get Finn to down in response to the word. So
Okay.
once you say down, he just downs. You can just feed him without having to step or reinforce. And then if he tries to break the position, you could correct him by tapping. He should go back into the down position.
Got it.
So for this exercise, to get him to understand the concept better and respond more consistently and quickly, we do repeated downs. And then there's down and don't move for a period of time.
Right.
So if you're going to watch, same thing with place, watch a movie, work from home, read or something, anytime they're going to just be stationary for a bit, you can down him at your feet. You'd have your equipment, your leash, your remote and everything because he's still learning. Down him, step on the leash, giving only about a foot of slack, and then watch TV or whatever it is you're going to do. for whatever length of time you choose. Okay? Then if he tries to get up, we don't want to repeat the command. Simply just press the button and he should lay back down. And then you should start to notice that he holds longer and longer downs over the course of time.
Okay.
Okay?
Got it.
Questions on any of that stuff?
Nope.
Feel free to continue using treats when you practice this exercise. It'll just help motivate and incentivize him to want to learn the concept faster. And then once you feel like he's got it down, you can just down him, and then he's expected to. And if he doesn't, you would just use the remote to reinforce.
Yeah,
Okay?
that was like 10 minutes. He did pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, I thought he was going to fight a lot more and be a lot more vocal.
Yeah.
So all the vocalization that he did was just because he was frustrated, because he was trying to figure out what to do. But he picked it up pretty quick. So the food helps incentivize all that stuff.
Right.
Questions?
Nope.
Anything particular you think you want to cover for your next class?
No, nothing in particular. I think maybe when we were doing Pepper's training, we had talked about like maybe doing, it would be helpful to do like circuits or something. So you do like a little bit of sit, you do a little bit of stay, you do a little bit of down, and then a little bit of recall. So maybe something like that just to mix it up and just to get him really knowing the commands.
Sure. Yeah, like I know what you're talking about cycling through everything so he gets a better understanding.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. And then let's just double check how many. And then, because we could do that for the next class, because that would be 8 out of 9. And then, did you want to save one for like once the baby comes in case anything pops up, or?
Yeah, I'll have to talk to my fiance, but I think that's a good idea.
Okay, yeah, talk to her.
I'd be fine with
I
that.
don't care how you approach it. You can finish your program or whatever, or you can just save one just in case if there's any problems or issues that come up once the baby comes home. It can work out so many different ways. I just tell people, let me know if anything pops up.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good so far. It's just more time that I have to put into it. So from when we got him to right now, he's already maturing, I think. I can tell, and becoming just more obedient. So I just have to help him work on it more.
Yeah. Yeah, with this stuff, it's just finding the opportunities. Like, let's say, with work and life and everything, you can't always do one 3 to 5 minute session, right? But, if you're going to just sit down and do some work from home or whatever, very easy to implement or apply something like the place command or the down command, and that does have benefit to you. The only thing that is different is that he would learn how to respond to the word slower, because he's not getting a bunch of repeated, down, break. It's, once or twice a day down. So he learns it slower, he's just not going to be the fastest.
Yeah, it was really easy when we got Pepper because I could pretty much give her all my time, and we got her like right in the summer, so we go on lots of walks, plenty of time to do her trainings. But we got him in the winter, so we've been kind of cooped up for a little bit. But definitely, it's on me. I got to get him more.
Summer's coming pretty soon, so.
Yeah, we have a lot of free time, especially now with the yard, to be outside and experiment with all our different commands. I think he'll be good.
Good. So we can work on that next class, and you can talk to Haley about if she wants to save a class or if she just wants to wrap up the program. I don't have a preference. It's up to you guys, and it's just whatever you decide, so that Maria knows. So if you decide to push off, she'll just update the calendar or whatever.
Perfect.
Okay.
Sounds
Awesome.
good.
Good job. Break.
Come on, bud.